Season 1 took us through a dark story of a young mother who inexplicably stabs a stranger to death and the sympathetic detective working to unlock her missing memories. Executive producer Jessica Biel joins me this morning to fill us in on Season 2 of The Sinner. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. So I know that in this next season you are going to be heavily involved on the producing side. Give us the brief setup for Season 2 because it's very different from Season 1.
It is very different. I mean, we are going to start off the season once again with a very shocking crime, and very quickly you will learn who was behind it. So that's kind of a similar setup. But as the season continues, you're going to be following a young boy who has killed his parents, and the community that he grew up in, and how Harry Ambrose is connected to that, and the relationships between specifically mothers and sons. And we will dive a lot more into Harry Ambrose's psyche and his past trauma. So it is very different, but the language of the show is still there. The touchstones and the cornerstones are still there as well. The vibe, the feeling, and the look of the show is the same.
And I did notice a lot of very dark themes. You know, as a mother, as a producer, as an actress, was there anything about this show while you were working on it that really shocked you?
I mean, I think there are a handful of very shocking things that we're talking about and exposing in this season. I think it's a little bit hard for me because I'm so close to the material, and I'm looking at it from a very analytical point of view and an observational point of view, and less of an emotional right in the center of it. So always trying to understand, you know, does this storyline, does this connect? Will it work? Will it add up? Will this have a peak and a valley and all these things? So I think I'm a bad person to ask because I am so close to it. But there's very shocking things going on here, and it's at times uncomfortable. It's at times, provocative, and you're not sure if you like it or if you don't like it, or if you're watching a scene or what you're not sure what to think about a character. And we like that. We want to ask those questions. We want to provoke those kind of ideas from the audience.
Yeah, I could definitely see that this is a show that you walk away from still thinking about it and still thinking about some of the issues that come up, everything from, mental health to parenting. A lot of interesting stuff here, and it's so much to unpack. But I know that you said you have always been really drawn to strong female leads. So this season features Carrie Coon, Natalie Paul. What do you hope viewers see and connect with in these characters?
Well, I hope viewers can find themselves in these characters, and I think to do with The Sinner, and what we hope to do is to create these fictional people and let you find just of yourself where you can connect. Because a lot of the times I think you're watching characters do something or experience something that you've never experienced before. So what I tried to do when I was working on Season 1 is find my way in to her. Where do we parallel? Even if it's different, where can I find compassion? Where can I find empathy? Where do I understand her? And I think that's what we're looking for the audience to do, is see these women who may feel at some points quite extreme, and are maybe behaving in ways that you wouldn't necessarily behave, or you wouldn't make those decisions per se, but that still you feel that compassion, and you understand somehow, in some way, why these women, why these mothers and daughters and sisters are interacting and responding the way that they are. Because we're all sinners in some way. We're all flawed. We all have these underbellies that we're sometimes afraid to express and explore. And that's what we want to do. We want to kind of rip that open and fillet all that stuff out for everybody to see in a very vulnerable way.
I like that. I think it's a lot of it is just about exploring the human experience that that we all experience. And I do want to say a quick congratulations on the Emmy nomination. Best of luck to you in that.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for chatting with us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Season 2 of The Sinner
It's my pleasure.
premieres tonight, and make sure you guys check it out.
One of my favorite shows, The Sinner, officially kicked off its second season on USA Network last night. If you missed season 1, you can catch up on Netflix right now. I sat down with Jessica Biel to talk about everything from her recent Emmy nomination to her new role in The Sinner's second season. Hi, Jessica. Welcome home, baby. You're from Colorado, Boulder. Do you have any special shout-outs?
Thank you. Happy to be home with you guys. Just my entire extended family on my mother's side. Hi, guys.
Well, if you ever come home for Thanksgiving, give me a call. I'd love to join your family.
Will do. We have raucous, fun festivities.
I have to say congratulations. I am addicted to The Sinner, and the first season was a huge success.
Oh, good.
You're being recognized for it, which is awesome. You've been nominated for an Emmy Award, Outstanding Lead Actress. Woohoo! But you also serve as executive producer. What kind of drew you to this type of story, girl?
You know, I think the complicated psychological minefield of this woman is really what I saw in the book. And I saw just a massive opportunity to do something that would be terribly challenging. I didn't know if it was going to be successful, not even the actual show, but in terms of my ability to portray this person and do it properly, because she's so unreliable and she's so complex. But that's what that's the kind of role that I want to play. That's the role that every actress is, waiting for. So it just was a no-brainer. I read the book and I said, I don't care what I have to do. I have to play this part. We have to figure this out. Now let's do it. And it was just one of those things.
You do it amazingly. And I love with The Sinner, it's not who did it, but why they did it. So for those who haven't had a chance to see the first season of The Sinner, explain what The Sinner means and who is The Sinner?
Well, that's a very layered question, because what The Sinner means is sort of, we want you to look at yourself and look at everyone in the show, and everyone in their own way has elements of the sinner, that kind of mythological or mythical thing, the sinner, and what it means. So we want every character to participate in that way, and we want it to extend through the television to your home. We want you to feel compassion. We want you to feel disgust. We want you to feel connected. We want to revolt you. Like, we want to take you through a gamut of human experiences and the human condition, which is so also complicated. And that's what we want to do. We want to show you the crime, and we want to just completely expose the human and the human tendencies behind it.
Yes, and you totally did that. Even with the first episode, it was, I can't believe that just happened. But at the same time, I was in touch with your character because you're a mom, and then it flashes back to the abuse that you've been through. Do you think this is really a psychological thriller?
I do, absolutely. This is a psychological thriller. We are not pretending to be anything else. This is not a show where you're going to see big explosions and, planets and space travel. Like that. That's not what we do. It's a very simple, thematically based show about the human mind and about the curious and endlessly fascinating human existence and human experience, because we want to expose the taboo ideas in our culture of shame and guilt and trauma, and how we bring that to light, and how that helps us recover and move forward and find catharsis and find peace and, find strength with our pain and help us move through that.
If anyone has not seen the first episode, you can catch up on it. It's streaming everywhere on all the different platforms. But the second season is on the USA Network. And tell me a little bit about, you're not in that season. You're going to be the executive producer. But it's circling around a young boy who committed a horrible crime.
Yes, that's accurate. So the second season will investigate a very young person committing a very horrendous crime, and we will we will start to show you the community that he's from and the family that he's from and how that has brought him to where he is now, and the faith he has in that, and if that faith will be tested. And Harry Ambrose, who is played by Bill Pullman, he will be drawn into this investigation because it's his hometown, and he will start to be confronted with his pain of his past, his psychological trauma, and the secrets of the town that he didn't know about will become revealed through this investigation.
There's so many layers to it.
He is seeing a lot of himself in this young boy who is standing trial for these crimes.
Well, I can't wait to see season 2. You do an outstanding job as executive producer also. And there's so much I want to talk to you about. I wish I had more time, but let's get to it quickly. I wish I could talk to you about how to get those arms, your son, you're a great mommy. The Sinner Season 2 has a brand new story. It airs on Wednesday nights on the USA Network. If you missed the season premiere last night, you can catch up on their website at usanetwork.com/The Sinner. You can also stream all of Season 1 right now on Netflix. Do it. It's really good.
You can catch Season 2 premiere of the Emmy-nominated program The Sinner tonight. And one of the stars that received an Emmy nomination is actress and producer Jessica Biel. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning.
How is Sweden?
It's beautiful, it's hot, but it's a gorgeous city, and it's been wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Are there any foods that you have tried that have been interesting or you've enjoyed while you've been over there?
The food here is delicious. Of course, traditionally, I guess, meatballs.
Good, good.
But so many other things. Like, there's really delicious, lots of Asian-inspired dishes, I think, that have been really good, and it's a majorly diverse cuisine.
The closest meatballs I've gotten to Swedish meatballs are ones at IKEA. So you are definitely beating us out there.
Can you confirm, are they different than the IKEA meatballs, or they're about the same?
You know, I have to be honest with you. I've never had the IKEA meatballs, but I've heard a lot about those meatballs.
Well, we want to get to the juicy stuff of this interview, and that is The Sinner. Now, you were actually on the screen for the first season of The Sinner, but now you're taking a behind-the-scenes role as executive producer. How has that experience been, kind of taking that the front stage on the backside of things?
You know, it's a wonderful experience. It's different, and I have a lot of feelings about it because I you know, in one respect, really miss being a part of the cast and really miss being on set and being on the ground and really hands-on the way we were in season 1. And in the other respect, it's such a relief to not be doing what I was doing season 1, because it was such an intensive emotional output every day. And it's just been such a cool experience being a part of everything, all of the writing, the casting, notes, the looking at the edits, the post, everything, and really being able to do that from behind the lens. It's been a really eye-opening experience.
Do you find yourself giving any of the actors some tips? Like, you can't help yourself when you're there watching?
You know, sometimes I have ideas, and you know, if it was a moment where it would make sense, maybe. But you know, I always feel hesitant about that because every actor is going through their own process, and you really want the director to feel that that's their pathway of communication, and that you're not kind of stepping on anybody's toes. Sometimes I'll whisper to our director's ideas, but very rarely will I cast. I mean, they know what they're doing. I mean, we cast them for a very good reason.
And one thing that's really interesting and creepy about season 2 is that it's starting off with the whole crime revolving around a child, and it's not the child on, you know, the victim side, it's the child on the bad side, that he possibly murdered his parents. So that's got to be kind of crazy for you, being like, all right, I have to work with a child talking about murder.
Yes, it's you know, one of those kind of taboo, culturally taboo things to talk about, but that's what we want to talk about in this show. You know, we want to sort of expose these ideas and these you know, deeply rooted feelings that kind of really, you know, thrives underneath the surface in all of humanity. And that happens, whether it's an accident or it's something different. But that's, you know, one of the themes that we want to explore, and we want to make it, I mean, we want to talk about it. It is uncomfortable, and the discomfort is part of the language of the show. We want the audience to feel that and be conflicted about, you know, how you feel about this main character.
Of course. Jessica, real quick, because we're running out of time, but very quickly, I know you went to Tufts University in Boston. Do you have quickly your favorite thing about Massachusetts? We are a Massachusetts-based show.
Yes, I know, Massachusetts. I loved my experience at Tufts. I love my girlfriends that I met there. I'm still friends with them, and a lot of them moved back. Some live in Wesleyan, and some more in the city, some on the outskirts. And I think that would be my favorite thing about Massachusetts, the people. I have just the best relationships from that experience.
That is a great answer when you're talking to two people in Massachusetts. Thank you,
We are
Jessica.
your best friends. Jessica.
Thank you so much for joining us, Jessica. We appreciate it. Have fun in Sweden.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, and you can watch the season 2 premiere of The Sinner tonight, and if you want to catch this interview again, you can find it, as always, on mymassappeal.com.
USA Network's murder mystery series, The Sinner, is coming back to television. Executive producer Jessica Biel joins us to discuss season 2. Thank you for being with us all the way from Stockholm, where I understand it's very warm today.
It is boiling here. It's apparently the hottest it's ever been in 264 years.
All right,
which
well,
you don't hear that often coming from the United States, so I loved hearing that.
just like you're in Texas. Hey, you starred in season 1 of The Sinner. You got an Emmy nomination for it. Now you're not in front of the camera anymore. How exactly does that work? Do you get an Emmy nomination to decide I'm not going to be in it anymore?
Well, it didn't really go like that, but you know, the season 1 was really a close-ended story, which is what we're going to do with every season. We never really planned on what was going to happen in season 2. We never thought there would be a season 2. Wonderful surprise, but it made the most sense from our creative team, from our writer-creator Derek Simons, that this story between Cora and Harry Ambrose and that entire experience, it's over. And it's time to move on and explore more of Harry's psychology and bring in new female characters and, you know, explore a whole new crime.
All right, let's talk about the plot now of this new story. A boy accused of killing his parents, and then we find out there's a lot to this young boy, right?
That's right. So you will see you know, sort of similar to season 1, you'll see a horrific crime, and you will know pretty quickly who has committed this crime. And then we are going to explore how this young boy has come up to be where he is in the world, in the family that he has. And we will also be discovering or exploring the, you know, family relationships between mother and son specifically. And we have a cast of amazing females, wonderful female characters and actors portraying these characters that we're going to dive into as well. Harry Ambrose, his past, his psychological trauma, and we will get a little bit more to the bottom of that.
All right, let's talk about those strong female characters. I imagine as an executive producer, having those characters in this is something that's important to you.
Yes, this is something that creating female, really strong, amazing, complicated, real-life female characters is what I want to, you know, those are the parts that I want in my life. So my company is dedicated to finding parts for me and also for other women. And yes, we want to tell all types of stories, but we want to talk about a woman's experience. We want to talk about all aspects of you know, a woman's journey. So that's what we're continuing to try to do as much as we possibly can.
Well, I got to tell you, you've got a lot of fans here in North Texas. The Dallas Morning News had it as the must-see TV show this week in the Sunday edition. So thanks for spending some time with us, and certainly good luck with the series.
Very cool. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, be sure to see the Season 2 premiere tomorrow night on USA. You can catch up on Season 1 on Netflix.
Question for you guys. Did you watch Season 1 of The Sinner? If not, don't worry. We're not going to spoil it for you, but it is a crime drama that left viewers wanting so much more. And lucky for us, Season 2 does premiere tomorrow. I spoke with actress and executive producer Jessica Biel about what we can expect.
It's been a while.
And you're taking on a new role now with Season 2. I imagine it's draining in a different way. You executive produced Season 1, but now you're not going to be a part on screen of Season 2, correct? How is that different for you?
It's very different. I mean, obviously, being a producer is not something that I do with my eyes closed, and sometimes I feel like, not that I can act with my eyes closed in any sense, but just I have such a bigger breadth of experience with it, and I feel more comfortable and confident. So being a producer is a very different thing, and also being okay to not be on screen, and to not be part of the cast, and to not be a part of that experience is hard. But it was the right thing for the show.
Mental illness is so at the forefront of Season 1, and based on what I've seen from Season 2, it looks like it's there too. Was that important for you to be a part of something addressing mental illness, especially considering the timeliness of it?
So it wasn't something that we were attempting to do right away, make it a big, a big theme in our show, but it just kind of evolved and morphed into that. There's a lot of new thematic things that we want to discuss, and it's different. But I think you will be uncomfortable. I think you will be intrigued. I think you will be curious. I think you will be provoked. And that's what we want to do. We want you to ask a lot of questions and maybe not know how to feel a lot along the way.
Season 2 of The Sinner premieres tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on the USA Network, and you can catch up with Season 1 on Netflix.
The Sinner is about perception, both last season and this season, the perceived and the perceivers. Could you sort of talk about that psychology and looking both at Cora but then also as Julian in that perspective?
Certainly. That's actually a really amazing way to put it, the perceived and the perceiver. Because even the title, The Sinner, it's not labeling just Cora's character or just our Julian character, who is the person who is, possibly have committed these crimes. We want to turn the lens upon every character. We want to turn the lens of the sinner lens upon the audience. And we have to look at ourselves in this way and know that we are all flawed. We are all sinners in some way. And it really is a perspective thing, how we feel about ourselves and how we see ourselves and how we see ourselves in the world and the human mind and the human condition. And it's a very convoluted lens to look at human beings, but that's what we want. We want to take away the distortion. We also want to bring the discomfort of talking and exposing things that are hard to talk about. So that's kind of what we're attempting to do in The Sinner.
Is this Harry Ambrose?
Speaking.
I read about your case with that woman.
If this isn't the best time, I'm sorry.
I could really use a set of eyes on this. The reason is the suspect.
It's a kid?
They were his parents. He was the only one seen going in and out of the room.
He poisoned them.
How's it being back? It's been a while.
You actually mentioned, I like the word you used, distortion, because the thing is that even within the characters, within Cora, within Julia, there's a distortion on how they perceive themselves internally. So, and playing that's always interesting. I would think playing that for you as an actor was very interesting, but then also looking how you develop it for a child to play it like the actor playing Julian. Could you talk about that? Because that's a really sort of dynamic sort of line to walk.
It certainly is, and it's an ambitious idea for an adult person, let alone a young person. But that's the joy of those characters, the distortion, what they know, what they're being told, when the truth comes out, how does it feel, do they believe it, how do they have faith in the people that they are supposed to trust when the trust has been taken. You know, all of these ideas were basically creating the most vulnerable and raw scenario for these lead characters. And to find an actor, a young actor who can do this kind of thing is very, very hard. I think we have to rely very much on a natural instinct of the person that we find, which, you know, we found in this lovely young actor, and also the guidance of our amazing directors to walk that fine line, to help him and help all of these characters, you know, walk the tight minefield of their mind and the experiences that they're going through. And honestly, it's like life or death every day on set. You know, you hope you're walking it properly, and you don't really quite know till you get in the post and you try to cut it together and see where you're at.
The themes, I mean, the aspect of having Harry sort of parallel in some aspects, it's interesting because it examines obviously certain aspects of PTSD, but how, you know, people repress and do certain things instead of letting the truth out. Could you sort of talk about those different themes within the show and what really drew you initially, but then also what keeps you involved in that way?
Right. So initially, what drew me to the show is, you know, this endlessly fascinating human experience and human behavior, the human mind. It's so complex. Why do we do the things that we do, especially when they're extreme? And I was curious about trying to create a character who is very unlikable right off the bat and is very unreliable. And how do you like this person? How can you follow this person for 8 episodes? So that's what initially drew me. And then, of course, exposing her trauma, understanding her regressions, understanding her block, the complete mental block of what happened to her, and then understanding that she was lied to. And that lie became her cornerstone of who she was as a human, and that's where the shame and the guilt was created. So how do I take that and then use it to benefit this person and get her out from underneath all of this mess that she's been living in? So that's what we're doing with, you know, all of these main characters. That's what drew me. And I think with the Julian character in season 2, we are going to be looking at a lot of these ideas of, you know, who is this person? Who is this young boy? Because he's been influenced so extremely by this community that he lives in, and this mother-father figure and other sort of influencing figures in his life. And when the sort of veil comes off, where does his faith lie? You know, is he able to step forward as an adult and grasp his own truth and separate maybe from the community and his influences, or is it just too soaked into his cells on an energetic and, you know, like root level that is going to just be who he is? So we are diving deeply into the human psyche through the eyes of a very young person. So you know what, we'll see. We'll see if it resonates.
That's an impulse killing. It's emotional.
Whatever you have to do now, I won't blame you.
You know how the mind plays tricks. You see things that aren't there.
What are you remembering?
It looked like he recognized her.
She attacks him in public.
So you think she's lying?
This doesn't make any sense.
I think there's something wrong with me.
And my last question, and thank you very much, Jessica, is the aspect that it was interesting as you talk about it infiltrating every cell of the characters. You know, what is very specific to me is both in all the characters, as well as the character you play, as well as Julian, as well as the mother in season 2, and Bill, is the physicality. As there's as much said by just what you see on screen as what's said in the dialogue. It's about that reveal, but that's almost like an intimacy of brutality, or a brutality of intimacy, if you want, in the physicality and how that informs the acting for many of the people on set. It starts with the words, but it continues in the acting in that way. Can you sort of talk about that and sort of embodying it, but seeing others do the same as well?
Certainly. I mean, the physicality of a character can,
Welcome back, everyone. Well, the show The Sinner was a big sleeper hit for the USA Network last season, and it is now back for season 2. And tonight we are talking to executive producer and actor Jessica Biel. Hey, Jessica, how are you?
Hi, Kim.
Okay, first off, I have to say congratulations on your Emmy nomination for season 1 of The Sinner.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's really exciting. It's you know, just wonderful to be honored in that way from your own community. So I'm thrilled.
We are equally thrilled for you. Okay, so for people who haven't seen season 1 of The Sinner, can you kind of summarize it for us?
Sure. So first season, we introduce you to a character who is a mother and seemingly a very normal young woman with a young family, and she commits a heinous crime about 10 minutes into the first episode. So you see the crime, you see who did it, and she basically says, I did it, I'm guilty, take me away. And we introduce you to a detective character named Harry Ambrose, played by Bill Pullman, who sees that there's more to this story and doesn't understand why this woman is behaving the way that she is. So the season explores the onion peeling of Cora Tanetti, my character's psychology.
Yeah, but of course you're not on screen in season 2. You are still executive producing though. So when did you realize that you wanted to be in front of and behind the camera?
It's been in my mind for a while, and the idea is really to, you know, not necessarily to just have control, but to work with writers and to be part of the casting and to really create amazing vehicles for myself and also for other women.
Oh, that is awesome. Okay, I have to mention, since it's almost football season, you are a Broncos fan. Any chance that we can switch your allegiance to the Seahawks?
I probably will stay true to my to my team. Why? Are you trying to sway me?
Maybe a little. Just know that there is plenty of room on our bandwagon if you want to join in.
That's very kind of you. Thank you. I'm going to remember that.
All right, Jessica, thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to the start of season 2 of The Sinner.
Thank you so much. Please tune in. I think you'll enjoy it.
All right, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. USA Network. That is the premiere of season 2 of The Sinner. And that's all the time that we have tonight for our show, but tune in tomorrow because Jose and Jim are going to be hosting a half-hour camping special. It is everything you need to know about getting out into the great outdoors of the Pacific Northwest. Stay where you are because America's Got Talent is coming up next. Thanks for watching and good night.
Well, guess who we have with us this morning? Jessica Biel. She's with us. She's nominated for her first Emmy.
Yeah, in the USA series The Sinner, Biel plays a psychologically complex killer who commits a horrible murder but doesn't know why. Take a look.
Stop it! Get off her! Get off!
Jessica Biel, welcome. Congratulations on your Emmy nomination. Talk to us about how you celebrated this and what this means to you.
Thank you. Well, it just means the world because I'm being honored and celebrated by my community, and I am with the most incredible women in this category, women that I look up to, that I try to emulate in my career, and who've been good influences, great influences on me. And it's just an absolute total joy moment, you know, very exciting. And I celebrated alone in my hotel room with a glass of champagne, and it was great.
Well, we're showing that picture right now, and there's nothing wrong with a little champagne by yourself, my friend. Without ruining it for everyone, the series, I've done it myself. The series is not so much a whodunit, but a whydunit, and it's about, sort of about like a parent doing anything for their child, and now you're a parent. Would you do anything for your little one?
Yes, I would. I would do anything. I mean, you can't quite grasp what that really means until you have a child, and now I really understand it. I would do anything. I would.
Well, I hope you wouldn't do what Frank's you-know-who did, but we'll get to that later. And, you know, speaking of children, you're on a little adventure this summer in Europe, and do you have the little one with you? I'm a mom with 2 little ones. How's it going traveling with a little child?
You know, it is not without its many difficulties and challenges, but I think it is so wonderful and exciting to be in a new continent, going through so many different countries, places that he probably won't remember, but I just feel like something, you absorb something when you're hearing new languages and trying new things and being flexible to stay in different hotel rooms and going to museums and, you know, knowing what the Eiffel Tower is. Those kinds of things, I feel like, sort of set in place a curiosity for the world. And it's just so fun to be together, and I love to travel, so it's so fun for me to bring him along on something that I love to do so much.
And you get to go with your husband, Justin Timberlake. You know, a huge fan of Justin Timberlake. I took my mom as her big birthday present. We had a big family outing to the concert, which was so much fun. It seems like he is annoyingly, he's annoyingly perfect. Like, is there anything wrong with Justin Timberlake?
Oh, we don't have time, guys. We don't have time for that kind of an answer. No. He is, honestly, he is just a very, very incredibly naturally talented person. And honestly, I don't think he should apologize for that.
Well, you know what? You're naturally talented, too. Next time around, next season of The Sinner, you're executive producing, and this time a child kills their parents. It's a tough topic, so we'll be looking out for that. Congrats on your Emmy nod. And you know what? I'll be sipping a glass of champagne for you solo, watching it, okay?
We're rooting for you. You deserve to win.
Please do. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. And season 2 of The Sinner airs tomorrow on the USA Network.
He's not. He's perfect, Justin. I'm telling you, he's perfect.
There's something. There's got to be something.
There's nothing.